What's going on, guys? So today I want to talk about my Ulu knife. That's U-L-U, Ulu. It's an extremely old knife design, dates back centuries. Not only used in Alaska by Inuits, but other tribes I can't remember off the top of my head. I believe it was also used in Russia, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I mean, it's used all around the world. It's just I think its heritage came from those places. This particular one was a commemorative one my grandfather brought back from Alaska. Took a trip there many, many years ago. Just says Alaska, obviously there's a little brown trout on there. Brought this back for me knowing that I liked knives. I thought it was pretty cool. Didn't really know much about it. It kind of was displayed for many years before I even considered using it. I've only been using this knife for probably 5 or 6 years now. One day, I mean, it was in a little wood stand and I just had it like in a display case and I decided to just take it out and use it. I used it in the kitchen. And it worked wonderfully. Because of this blade design, it is often used in a rocking motion. And sometimes you'll get Ulu sets where it'll come with a bowl, and the bowl will actually have just a shallow, cutout. That's what makes it a bowl. So you put whatever you're putting there to chop up, and you just rock back and forth. All right. So it makes chopping quite easy instead of taking a motion, which you could still use this to chop in that sense, but I'm going to do this very lightly. It is kind of dull right now. I actually took it out to sharpen, that's why I'm making the video. But you'd put the base against a flat surface, your cutting surface, and you just rock back and forth. And when you're doing that, you would change the direction a little bit. You can use this to, dice up chicken or other types of meats, vegetables, all kinds of stuff. From my understanding, this was a go-to knife for everything. It was literally an all-purpose knife. They used this to cut each other's hair. They used this to shave the ice blocks and making igloos. They use it to skin animals to separate the blubber, the fat from whaling, all kinds of stuff. I mean, you name it, that was their go-to knife. And their Ulu knives were passed down from generation to generation. It was believed that the spirits of their ancestors were in the knife, and this is something that they needed to survive. So it has a really rich history. It's very cool. Of course, you can look, more into that on your own. I don't know everything about it. I just know what I just said. But, yeah, my grandfather brought one back from his trip. Started using it, like I said, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and I absolutely love it. It is awesome in the kitchen. Not too long after I got it from my grandfather, I actually had a viewer who sent me one. It was literally this exact same one. I'm not sure where the other one is, and I'll be honest, I don't know if this is the one the viewer sent or if this is the one that was my grandfather's. So anyway, I mean, it's a really interesting knife. I've always used it in the kitchen as a pizza cutter. Just because it has that blade shape, I would start at the end of the crust, punch through and just roll forward, lift up, roll forward, and it worked beautifully for that. So if you are really into pizza all the time, if you don't happen to have a specific pizza cutter, the wheel blade, then this is a great substitute if you happen to have one of these in the house. But besides that, I've also used it in the past just for chopping veggies and stuff. It is super versatile, very cool design, really do love it. I just kind of want to break it out today, mostly because I'm going to be sharpening this, and I figured, hey, why not do a video on it talking about it? Be curious to hear other people who use Ulu knives on a regular basis in their kitchen or otherwise. This does have a chisel ground blade, so you can see the back is just flat, and there's just one grind on the front. Again, this one needs a sharpening. It's actually pretty easy to sharpen because it's chisel ground. I'll use this on a flat stone. I always strop my knives, as you guys know, except for this. I don't strop this, and I don't strop my kitchen cleaver. Those are the only two blades that are in my house that never hit the strop. I just use them until they're dull and I resharpen them. I'm not sure exactly who made this specific one, although I can tell you it's the exact same design as a Lehman, I believe it's how it's pronounced, L-E-H-M-A-N. You can Google that. It's literally the same thing, only they'll have different designs. It won't say Alaska on it. I'm assuming that the company made a bunch of these that say Alaska to put in like the souvenir shops and stuff, when you go visit. But yeah, I mean, they sell a set, I think it's like $40. It's the Ulu knife with, the bowl. So you can use that. It's obviously a little easier in the bowl, but you can use it on a flat cutting surface as well. But yeah, I mean, that's my assumption as far as who made it, just because it's an identical design with the wood handle, the slot cut out, and then the 2 brass rivets. Now, over the years, the brass rivets did tarnish a little bit, and it kind of stained the wood green around it. I can scrub that out, but it's not that big of a deal. I just keep washing it. You can see it's all beat up, scratched up. But it gets a lot of use in the kitchen. It's just a really cool, interesting knife design with a ton of history. And I only know a little bit of it. I'm sure there's things you guys can school me in, especially if you have more knowledge in this specific type of knife pattern. But it's really interesting. Definitely worth looking into for something a little bit different in the kitchen. So there you go. Just a little bit about the Ulu. So I'm going to go sharpen this. I know you guys are going to want to see a video on how to do it, just like I would do any other chisel ground blade. Like I said, I'm going to take my time on a stone, start from the heel, work my way across, and just go through 2 or 3 different grits. I'll probably start, this one's not too dull. I'll start at like 500 or 600, work my way up to 1,000, and that'll be adequately sharp for all the things I need it for in the kitchen. Doesn't have to be a razor blade, but you do want it nice and sharp, so you're not going to slide off of things and create a dangerous, cutting situation. But yeah, just curious, how many people out there use an Ulu? Love to know. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow with another video. Take care.